Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mishmash Gaming Lead game number 2. My name is Neely Bobber. I'm actually here with our other caster, Misfits, who's going to be filling in for Bubba Fabes today. How are we doing today, Misfits?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm also known as Misfitism or just Misfits.
All
But
right. I'll
yeah,
probably just say Misfits throughout the whole thing. Just makes it easier.
yeah, that's fine.
But today's games, we do have two really good teams right now. We have Team ORCA, ORCA Elite, actually, and Team Sin Esports. Right now, we're just getting into the map bans right now. As you can see here, Bank has already been kind of knocked off the list here. I'm just seeing if they've done anything else. Nope, they're still wait. We're still waiting on the next ban. Haven't heard anything else. So Bank being a pretty Bank was pretty prominent last game in game number 1. Coastline being a second one being taken off. Then that's no surprise there, just with the amount of stuff that's or the openness of the middle of the map. Between these two teams, what do you think is going to be the deciding map? Misfits.
Deciding map. I'm not 100% sure just yet, but I think actually I don't have any thoughts at the moment.
No, that's fine. Okay, so we have right now Bank, Border, and Coastline are gone. Again, Coastline, no surprise. Clubhouse, actually, that was a pretty quick one. They seem to have that one ready. So right now it's down to Consulate, Cafe, and Villa. So I think Villa's going to be gone, and Cafe. I think we're going to go to Consulate just because of the new changes they've done to Cafe. I don't think there's enough strategies been developed for it yet. So it's just I think teams are just not wanting to go there just yet. We'll have to wait and see.
Well,
It's
safe to
usually,
say,
usually what we see is when new maps come out.
yeah,
Oh,
like one of the most prominent maps now is surprisingly Villa. When that came out, it was such a big map. It's just really hard to come up with anything of true value on that map. But
yeah. It looks like
uh,
it looks like I was completely wrong. It looks like we're going to Cafe.
really.
Villa and Consulate got knocked out, which is very surprising. Again, those are two, especially Consulate. Consulate's a very strong map. It's a very open map, good for interpretation for different strategies, things like that. But Cafe, again, these teams must feel very confident that Cafe will work for them. So we're just waiting for that to go through. So that's very interesting. What's your take on Cafe with the new changes? Like, do you feel like there's any particular bomb site that's a yes and a no? Like, how do you feel like these strategies are going to play out?
Well, before Cafe, before the reworks, no one went Kitchen.
Mm-mm.
Kitchen was probably the worst site. And now that I'm looking back at it, every site is usable. Every site can be played to your advantage. But so far, it seems like Cigar, like the top floor, I'm pretty sure that's a unliked site. But for some reason, every time I go into ranked, everyone plays top site first, and it confuses
Yeah.
me.
No, yeah, it's usually when with some sort of rework, there's going to be that one site that's just all of a sudden super popular. That being one of them, I guess, just because the other changes, nothing really changes with train rooms. So it's going to be an interesting thing. So we are getting right into the ban phase now for the operators. I can definitely see like a Habana or even a thermite, things like that, just preventing any of those soft wall pushes, especially through piano or anything like that. So, Montaigne being the first pick.
Long time. In my it seems like a rank ban. In my history of playing ranked, so far the most bans I've seen were Echo and Thatcher. Doesn't matter which side it was on. Just seems like Thatcher is picked a lot more over Thermite due to getting into Thatcher. You can play Legion. You can play literally any trap, and the only counter would be IQ.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, right? So we're on Jackal being the next one. Okay, so Monty and Jackal. So any heavy pushing coming from or from the Montaigne. Again, Montaigne, I've seen a lot of more. He's obviously been banned. He's a very popular or a very powerful operator, depending on the team. Last year, we've seen actually quite a few aggressive Monty plays where they just push in and therefore take out anybody that way. Jackal, again, one of those operators you don't see. The use of Jackal kind of counterweighs why you'd ban him.
So far,
Legion.
I think the Montang and the Jackal, I think they're pretty much comfort picks. Legion, on the other hand, I think that's quite an interesting pick. Same with Mira, due to well, Mira on the other hand, she can only be usable on about two different sites and like multiple ways in one. As for downstairs, just put her right beside the bakery door, and all of a sudden they'll have a hard time pushing in unless they get the mirror, or unless they get the Hibana off. But I don't think Miro was the wise pick for a cafe.
No, I don't. I actually 100% agree with you. There are more powerful operators that you can get, like you said, Echo, even a Maestro. Like last game in game one, we seen Maestro. There was a couple plays with him that all the just rips through people, and especially on console, his LMG isn't hard to control. So having that many rounds just spraying down range in certain hallways, it's just like having, in essence, it's a mobile Tachanka at that point. So you just have this super powerful gun that can completely lock down hallways, and then you have obviously the information gathering of the Evil Eye. So.
Yeah, definitely. So far, I think Maestro, in the past, ever since he's been released, he's easily the most powerful op. He has the best weapon, and he has a very annoying gadget.
Yeah, actually, that being said, his gadget is not annoying in the way that you would have thought it was when it first came out. A lot of people were saying, "Oh man, when you're not looking, the thing opening will, zap you to death and things like that." But I don't see that too often. It's very rare that you see him use it in the way of to zap certain things or stop operators from planting. It's more or less just a almost indestructible information gathering device. But we do see here, last minute, Miller has taken a little bit of damage from an impact made. It was just kind of poorly timed. So that's going to be kind of it would be pretty bad for Team Orca, not starting off the greatest, probably a little bit of jitters on their first game here.
Yeah, certainly. And it might actually, usually things like that go unnoticed, because he only took off half of his health, but it might be a deciding factor if this goes late round.
Yeah, especially for those gunfights, right? Even if he slips up, doesn't win those gunfights, because it is on the Valkyrie, the MPX doesn't hit as hard, so it's almost a guarantee whoever she's going against is probably going to win that gunfight. And we do see the Ashe and the Twitch here, just taking out that Maestro Evil Eye at the beginning here, and they will slowly make their way into Bakery.
Slowly. They're pushing him pretty fast. Looks like that Maestro's going to get taken off guard by that Capital. A few shots go off. No real damage to the attackers thus far.
Yep.
So far, we got the Valkyrie and we got the Maestro down to half health. Maestro's going to get taken down. He's not cleaned up yet, but the Twitch could come in handy real quick here.
Yeah, we do see Capital does take out Necromantic as very quickly as possible, and we will see the Ashe in here. She does hit her shots, but as well gets trade on him. That's correct. Nice little trade on there. So it is down to a 4v3. We do have Recurrency back here with the Jaeger. Just good drone play, I will say, for the attackers. They did draw him out quite well. They just have to start winning those gunfights. But we do have him here. Again, another trade. We do see the Twitch take out, but then Chase Rob with another one.
Chase Rob is going to have to play very safe here. If he wants to win, he's going to have to play safe. He's going to have to get those picks. If he doesn't, this is going to come down to the final seconds. And so far, it looks like that Twitch, he doesn't know he's there. Gets a few shots off, doesn't do any damage. Jaeger goes down. Deadly Peach rushing in. Jaeger last one.
Plant is going down, though. I don't know if he hears that. I don't think he can get there in time.
I think he does. He's just playing safe right now. He's looking for one of those picks.
Yeah. G Tomorrow, though, does take him out, and then Led easily takes care of Chase Rob with an easy first round. Going to Team Sin.
I think they just caught them off guard. They moved in quick. They moved in real quick there.
Yeah, they moved in quick, but they also started slow, right? You notice how they just kind of edged their way in, took care of the intel, and then from there just rushed where they needed to got into their positions. As I mentioned before, fantastic drone work. You see there's 3 drones in there, Twitch drone being included, all moving around, getting those defenders moving about. Same thing with the Maestro. That's what got him killed. The fire dispatched him from his little camp spot, and then the Twitch drone made him move out, and then from there he got taken care of quite quickly. So I will commend them on their drone work. I think that's a big factor of what won them around there.
They had a pretty interesting setup in a kitchen as well, but I think it came down to it being like more open up than it should be. Because I think Kitchen, the only way to defend Kitchen is you got to have all the outside walls reinforced. Because what they did there, they kind of opened up everything for the attacking side. They basically gave the attacking side an edge there.
Mm-hmm.
They gave them the angles that they shouldn't have had in the first place.
Yeah, exactly right. They just kind of gave them a little bit more free reign of that area than they should have. 100% agree with that. What we do see, though Chase Rob does bring out the Mozzie. Again, a very powerful operator in the right hands. As long as you're very, as you can see there, he did just catch a drone. If you're very clever with your placements, you can actually deny a lot of intel, especially if attackers are not aware of where these little pests are. Other than that, though, we have about the same composition as we did last time. We have a Doc Valkyrie, Maestro, and a Jaeger.
So that's about 3 intel ops, which is usually heavily dangerous. But so far against these attacking guys,
just kind of prevent their. Yeah, with how much they've been droning and with how quickly they move, having as much intel is going to be, I think, more important than having the more bulky ops. You want the information rather than the armor in some situations.
Yeah, definitely.
But we do have the attackers though running the exact same the exact same operator selection.
I think he just threw his drone off.
He just yeeted that thing right off the roof. So that drone's gone unless they have the time to bring it back, which I don't believe they do. But we will have about 3 of them on the roof there. We don't have many other angles being pushed right now. Usually you want to kind of have like a sweep coming from either basement or even over by piano room, but they just seem to have it on lock right now. You have 4 operators up on the roof here. They just seem they're trying to figure it all out and how they're going to be approaching this.
I'm not sure if you noticed, but the Capital almost got the Maestro a second time, but this time the Maestro managed to get off his drone just a little bit more quickly. Too quickly for the Maestro.
That Twitch just looks away at the wrong time. She will drone out the Mozzie. And then now she's going to trying to use the oh wow, what a flick from Chase Rob onto the Twitch there.
That was insane.
That was a very nice flick. But I feel like the Twitch just got too aggressive, and I think that was just more or less Twitch. But Chase Rob able for another one from the Mozzie. That's a C4 through the roof, and he's going to try and stop them through the floor here. Nice angles coming from Chase Rob here.
It looks like we're going into a reverse sweep of what we saw last round. Now it's a 4v3 in the defensive favor.
Plant is going down though. It's an early plant, especially with nobody there to really kind of watch him. It's a risky move, and just like that, she does get taken out by Jaden. But Demejo does take out Neoteric pretty quickly, and
it's down to a 1v2. You got the Thermite versus the Mozzie, and I actually didn't notice that. Yeah, it's down to a 1v3. Can't clutch him. No, he doesn't. Get cleaned up by Jaden. All of them just pitching him real quick.
Yeah, that was a nice throw. Again, I think I don't think they knew how to attack here because of how much they stalled a lot on the roof. They had 4 of them up there, and they just kind of all approached the same way. And then from there, Twitch did go around trying to approach from the bottom, as mentioned. But I think she just got too aggressive. She knew the Mozzie was there. She just, kind of threw her drone out and then got aggressive because she knew he was there. But the Mozzie was kind of laying in wake right there. So, getting good job by Orca though, bringing it back. They did seem quite dominant in that defensive round. So,
yeah, most definitely. It's now a 1v1. Looks like we're tied up going into a 3rd round. So far, my guesstimation, this is going to go to overtime, maybe double overtime.
It very well could be. It's only 2 rounds in. Usually by about round 6, when the switchover happens, that's generally when you can tell. Excuse me. When what team's kind of in favor, if any team's in favor. So they are going to bring it back down though to Bakery and Kitchen.
I think they're going for relatively the same strat again. Maybe they won't open up as much as they did. If they do, I want to see how that plays out. Because that's actually a really interesting strat. Maybe they just didn't play it right last time. It usually comes down to a few small mistakes to cost the team rounds.
Yeah, it's usually how it goes. I mean, you see here now they are bringing a castle, so it just kind of slows down that push a little bit. It gives them the more intel where they are pushing from when they blow open any of those doors or anything like that. So again, they are trying roughly the same thing, but they are changing up the composition, which I like to see. It means they're learning and they're trying to adapt to something a little bit different.
Just blew open. Yeah, he did. That is different. Before they had like a little hole in there. Kind of just got a giant impact in there.
We will have them sitting in roughly the same spot. He's going to keep putting all his things in about where they were before. But he is going to hopefully play it a little bit more safe just because he did get pulled out pretty quickly with that Capitao Firebolt.
Well, for setups like these, Capitao is dangerous. Not only because like the fire, but the Capitao doesn't get affected by the Jaegers.
That it does not, and the Firebolt does a lot of damage really quickly. So if you're not really paying attention, it could catch you sleeping. He can 100% take you out without even trying. So we will have Casa though, just kind of roaming over here, over by the coat check area, just waiting, laying in wait. He's going to try and catch somebody off guard. I think he might catch the Capitao. And nope, it doesn't. Like, cleaned up with that F2. They read him like a little bit of a book. They probably droned him out. They did have about 2 drones that just found him before just there, so we do have them approaching from the other direction. So again, we do have the thermite kill quite quickly, but the Tramacho with another one on the Jaden. That's 2 very quick kills, and it's literally just down to the Maestro with that Alda, so they will probably advance on him quite quickly. He's just all the angles, not even get it, led finishing him up. That's a very decisive win.
It was down to a 5v1, and I think in any situation, I feel like the Maestro is the only op that can take a 5v1 like that. But here he just got caught off guard, wasn't in the right position, and he got picked off.
Yeah, he got swarmed quite quickly, and especially from all the angles he was coming from. I don't know if he could, like, unless they were all coming from like 1 or 2 doorways, maybe. But considering they were coming from 3, possibly even 4 different angles on him, it would have been a tough one to get him.
Most definitely, and I think they finally learned that going kitchen is not the place to go, as they're going fireplace and mining.
Yeah, exactly. And at least they're not doing what some teams do, where they just play the same bomb site over and over and over again and bang their head against the wall until it works, if it even does work. And then when by the time it does, they're already like 3-4 rounds down, and it's kind of like it's a lost cause at that point. So as long as they're not it's a hard site to do. So as long as they're not going to try and repeat it, they're going to do this site and maybe go back to where they were before. Keep that site like last option. Now that they know that, okay, you know what, it doesn't work, let's move on.
Looks like the Twitch is about to have a little bit of a problem here if they get taken up. That's just some bad luck for the Twitch. Usually it's never good to lose those early on, but in this case, I guess the defense is really in need of a lucky drop of the hat here.
Yeah, it's good on them. Getting rid of that. So just kind of poor drone economy. It sometimes happens. Teams sometimes just throw the drones out there, just get as much intel as possible, and then that drone's disposable. But it's always good to try and keep your drones as long as possible, just in case late round you need another one or something like that. So it's always good to try and either hide them or even keep them in a spot where it's a rotation area. So therefore, it's not like the first thing on the defender's mind to look for that particular drone, right? Maybe have one drone that's disposable, gets as much intel as possible, and then from there, you hide the rest, and you feed the information as the round progresses.
Well, on a map like this, and the ops they have, I guess technically the Twitch was disposable. Like, all she can get is those Jaegers and possibly a Maestro, but usually getting a Maestro is high risk for the Twitch drone.
Yeah, and especially where they put them in pretty crowded areas, and we will have Jaden taking out Xenocrypt quite quickly. That's your Thatcher off the board, so that's a big hit from him. And as you can see here, he's not able to land the shots onto the sledge. There's a little bit of gunfight. Sledge does rotate back into Red Hallway, so he's going to try and get him through there. He can easily sledge his way in. Right now, it's Jaden's going to
He is not alone. The Mozzie manages to take down that. Was that the Thatcher or the Twitch that went down?
That was the Twitch that went down. Thatcher was the first one to go down.
So they just lost all the utility that they could to take out the hatches.
Yes. As well as we do have Castle, who is down, who can be picked up. I don't think he's in a safe spot right now. We will have the Mozzie able to take out one, but then Led is able to refrag on him. And right now, finally gets rid of him. Led with a double kill there. We do have X-Tokyo trying to take out this Jaeger of Jaden, but it does not. Jaden gets quickly disposed of again, so we're down to a 2v2 with a minute left, but we still have both the Maestro and Valkyrie, two very powerful operators, and especially with the other team, with all the intel that they can gather, that's a very powerful combo.
I think the defense might actually manage to take this one. Just because how they're set up, the Maestro's still alive, you still got all the intel from the Valkyrie, and Thermite against the Maestro is not going to end too well for the Maestro. As you can see here, a few shots go off, he doesn't manage to get anything.
Oh, he's not able to hit his shots, he's just got to line up a little bit, but Maestro's taking more damage than the Thermite is, so it's going to be one of those things. He is planting. I think he might be going for the
run up.
Oh, the Valkyrie, though, is able to stop the plant. And just like that, he's up to a 2v1, and X-Tokyo's on the other side there, and quick disposal by last-minute Miller. Those are very good shots by the Valkyrie, coming in with the clutch save there.
I think the only way they could have won, the attacking could have taken, but they were too spread out there.
Yeah, 100%.
Sledge needed to be with the Thermite. If the Thermite got that plant down, they could have backed up. There was a lot that could have happened there. But it looks like it's going on to defensive side right now.
Yeah, too much indecisiveness. I think one of them was saying, no, I'm going to go run for a flank. The other one was like, nope, I'm going to go plant. And it was just, like you said, they were on the other side. If the Sledge was there with them, you would have somebody covering plant. They could have backed out or backed away. Then they would have had a perfect angle. They could have had somebody watching stairs and somebody watching hallway. And from there, it would have been just a game of time, even if they did both die. So kind of a missed call on that one, I think.
Definitely. And again, it's a tie game, 2-2. I would have thought the side would have been more decisive by now, especially with how the defensive is playing. They gave them 2 rounds for Kitchen. Both times it was a clean sweep.
Yep. So I think maybe Team Orca might be the one in the better, or in the having the better luck. Just because I think they just had bad luck on that last map, but I think they might be the better team here overall, just because they have had 2 very decisive defense wins on 2 different sites, and where the attackers have only won, they've won twice, but they won twice on the same site with roughly the same kind of strategy. So it's one of those things where I think this round will now be kind of like the factor of, okay, what team is a little bit more ahead than the other? Just because now we're not going down back to the kitchen. We're back upstairs. We're back at a more comfortable bomb site for Team Orca. So it's just going to be, it's going to be down to that situation, I feel.
Yeah, certainly. Usually first round is anybody's game. Second round, again, anybody's game. It's usually when it comes down to the 4th and 5th round of any game. Doesn't matter what game you play, Call of Duty, CSGO. 4th round, that's where you figure out who's taking the game.
Yep.
Looks like an early run out by Jaden. Taking down the Ash doesn't get traded. That's good for them. They take down their fragging op, but they still got that line. I think he knows his general area, but he's going to push back.
Yeah, he's going to fall back. The Lion is going to try and push up, but he has really no intel to go off of him. The Jaeger does take care of him quite quickly. Not droning it out or not trying to get as much intel as possible from there is what held him back. He could have just probably put a Claymore at the door and just been safe. But now it is down to Jaden with 2 nice kills at the beginning. So again, it does look very strong for the defensive team on the side right now.
Yeah, from what I've seen over the past 4 rounds, I feel like Jaden is just absolutely punishing all their small mistakes. And they're only small mistakes too. Like they're not droning absolutely everything. And then Jaden's coming around, popping them with like 1 or 2 shots, getting the headshot, and then he's just leaving. They're just leaving themselves into like bad situations.
That they are. And Jaden with another kill, as we were saying that, and is now up to a triple kill. He's literally just taking out as many operators as he can that are not droning him out, or at least ones that are caught sleeping. And right now we have a Zofia and a Twitch. Both of these outside windows here, we could see the run out from the Jaeger if we're not too careful. And as I say that, Jaeger does come out and goes for. Oh no, Chase Rock comes out.
That's the Mozzie. Gets traded, but now it's a little too late. It's a 3v1. Twitch is alone. I think she can do it. I'm not sure how good she's doing at the moment, but if there's a time to clutch, she has 30 seconds left on the clock.
30 seconds left.
No one has it
on the other side of the map too, so it is going to be a uphill battle from here. Oh, and she just misses her shots, and unfortunately, the Valkyrie dispatches her quite quickly with the Desert Eagle.
Pop, she got deagled.
She did. She got deegged. Not one deegged, but she got deegged. So, and I think that just kind of tells us, ORACA is very comfortable on any other site, like every other site except for Kitchen. So,
second to go Kitchen is just not going to work out too well. Or maybe it's the fact that some teams have a strat that they want to try out or that they have tried out, but the second it goes into the field like it is currently, it doesn't go like they planned it out, like in rank. Or if they scrimmed another team, it might have went a little bit better. But that's currently not the case.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like ranked can only tell you so much because ranked is a very scattershot type thing. Like you will get teams that are 5 stacks and they do have some sort of composition, but these are teams. These are people playing for money. These guys have to have a set strategy, so it's a completely different games style than ranked would be. That's why when you see people saying, "Oh, ranked is ranked doesn't really get you ready for something like this," it really doesn't. It just kind of lets you find people who you can team with, and then from there, once you build strategy, get into events like this, then you understand how certain compositions go and how certain strategies can work. So I've never been in this kind of situation, but at the same time, I do know that there is a vast difference with that. I know when I was in the Invitational, I did have a chance to actually sit down and talk with like one pro league guy. I say sit down. I talked with him in the food line. It still counts. And it was I talked with Pangu, and when me and Pangu were just shooting shit, I asked him what's the difference between ranked and pro league, and he's like, it's just completely different mindset. Like anything you learn in ranked, just throw out the window. It's about your team synergy. It's about developing strategies. It's about learning from the little things. So, like you said, we had Jaden punishing them. The Team Sin has to learn from those little mistakes that Jaden is punishing them from, and then adapt and develop from there.
Yeah, definitely. And I think every little stage of Siege, whether you're in like a pro league like this, ranked, go for even, all of them need different mindsets if you want to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Or even team scrims, like 10 mans, 8s, whatever you decide to play, all need different mindsets to win. Like you're not gonna win a ranked. Ooh, looks like a few kills. Jaden again punishing people for not droning out. That has been the fatal mistake.
And it's always the Thatcher too. The Thatcher was the first one to go 2 rounds ago, and he is again. And we do have last minute Miller as well taking out X Tokyo and Diddley Peach taking out Neo Tarek. So we have both the Sledge and the Thatcher for the trade of a castle. That's like a very one-sided trade, 100%. Oh, Crixie. Just gets him with the shotgun. The last minute Miller takes away Deadly Peach. So as I mentioned before, we do see the defense of ORACA is now very, very comfortable in their positions right now, and they're just punishing these attackers for not droning them out, not taking the time, and Team Sin is just struggling at this point. It's a 1v4 with a Thermite, and Diffuser is nowhere to be found.
48 seconds left on the clock. Literally no damage done to the defensive side, except for Valkyrie. Might be able to clean up this Mozzie there. No, he doesn't. A few shots go up, but he gets taken down by Ree. Okay, I'm gonna call him Ree.
Yeah, I know. Rexy? Oh, it's Rexy.
Ah, smart man you are.
It's just, damn it. He got me again. Damn you,
Rexy.
Rexy. Oh, I'm never gonna hear the rhyme of that. But
yeah, I can see the Rexy now. Record REC.
Yeah, I know, right? It just throws you off. You're like, why not just put REXXYY? Like, it's just Rexy. But hey, now we know. We call him Rexy. I know I'm probably going to say RX. I'm going to go back to that like once or twice, but I do mean Rexy. But what did we see? What did we learn there? We learned that the defensive side is super comfortable, and the attacking side is now starting to stumble a little bit with not droning out, with kind of getting caught off guard quite quickly. Like you said, Jaden punished them right away, like almost immediately.
I could be wrong, but I think the not Blue Orca, other guys. I think they're taking it as a rank match.
I don't know if they're taking it as a rank match. I think it's one of those things where they're probably used to rank. I would 100%
exactly.
But I think they're just trying to mix strategies. They're kind of all over the board. There's not a lot of like if you notice they're very staggered. They're very separate.
Yeah.
You definitely want to like at the beginning they had like the first round they played on Kitchen. They had an idea. They had 2 enter, slowly take up that, and then they all just kind of went in that way and then dispersed. This now they're going from there's 2 over here, 2 over here, 1 over here. The one over here gets taken out, and so one person from the other group kind of separates, and it's just like there's no cohesion in the sense of like of a team strategy.
Well, I don't think they're playing for any goals. I think they're playing for kills, and maybe that's what's throwing them off because they're playing like they have the gun skill, like the best gun skill on console. And I don't think that's how you should approach a game like this, because everyone here deserves to be here. They played for their spots, and I just think they're not taking it with the right mindset, and it's costing them.
It could also be the first game jitters, you know what I mean? Like, the first game of the season, you're trying to feel out where your team's at, what the roster's like, because obviously there are other people who can sub in and become part of the more main roster, but you probably try a few new compositions, a few pickups here and there, but we do see 2 very quick frags coming from both the defensive side and as well as exoteric. Quickly dispatching of the bandit on there. So 2 very quick frags coming out.
Lucky for the defensive side, you don't really need bandit at this late round. He's not going to be bandit tricking. I think he has all his utility down, so I think he'll be good. He'll probably be on those bout cams. Looks like Zofia, low on health, playing very precautiously, or at least she should.
Especially with that low health.
Yeah, literally. All the possible utility all the way upstairs. She is going unprovoked.
Yeah, they're just giving her free range upstairs. There's no roamers. This is a very difficult map to roam on, just because like there is technically, there's 2 prolific stairwells that you go off, and now there's a little bit more area to roam about, but it is one of those ones where you can still get cut off quite easily. But we did see there the Maestro dispatches of the Zofia, or what's left of the Zofia. A couple shots, she was dead.
Yeah, so I think I mentioned that earlier. Where that Maestro is positioned is dangerous. That is probably the most dangerous Maestro position. All he has to do, aim in, and they're dead. As you saw with the Zofia, she was low on health, took about half a bullet, and she was down. She was gone.
Yep, and it was just one of those. It's the amount of angle that he has here too. He can just totally pin down this entire hallway. As he does take out the thermite, but he's quickly refragged by Rexy on that IQ, and it will be down to a 2v3 at this point. So it is very easy. They can win this, but they are not watching. They're kind of getting caught off guard here, and does get taken out quite quickly. And again, Deadly Peach takes out Chase Rob. So a very strong time or defensive round.
I think it just came for the attacking side. It just came down to the time. A lot of people in these kind of situations, Go Forest, Pro Leagues, they always seem to have a small problem taking care of the time. They want to play slow, they want to get their picks, and when they don't get their picks, they hang back, and it's even they waste more time, especially if one person on their side gets taken down. Like when Jaden took down lead in Tokyo in the first couple rounds, the attacking really didn't know what to do there. They could have pushed them out, but the more people pushed them out, the more Jaden kind of took control of that team.
Yeah, and from my understanding, from what I'm looking at, the last round was a good start. You know, the defensive side is usually the stronger side to be on. But what I'm noticing between Team Sin and Team ORACA is Team Sin doesn't seem to have anybody who has roles. You know, like you said, they seem to be hunting for kills. They're going that direction. Whereas Team ORACA seems to have, like, every person has a set, not necessarily a job, but it's like, you are fragger, you are support. You push, I'm behind you. And then on top of the other jobs they have, like, you know, reach here, we enter through this and that. But whereas Team Sin is, my job is to hold this angle, and that's my only job. It's not to push, it's not to roam clear, it's not to do anything else. This is my job, but there's nobody with a task that is on top of that kind of divides the two. That's why I think ORACA was having so much success with, okay, you two are roamed, I'm right behind you, this is our overall task. That's what I'm kind of noticing between the two.
Yeah, and you know, teams can play all slay ops. Like, there are teams play like that. Like, I play on 2 teams like that, and they do work, but they can only get you so far.
Yeah, it's yeah, they can only do so much. But we will see right now, they are kind of trying to enter from the roof here. We will have Rexy on that IQ. He is going to be a little bit of a rush here. Just trying to cover as much ground as possible. Just kind of seeing if he can find any more of these people just kind of roaming around here. Last time we did see the castle kind of about here, but I believe he just moved on. But we still do see Rexy quickly take out the Jaeger. That is a very, very big pick, because that Jaeger has been a pain in everybody's side. Almost the entire game, even for both sides. So,
oh yeah, definitely. So it's going to be a 5v4 early in the round. Defense still has a big chance. They have the castle set up. Looks like Rexy gets taken down, traded. About to take on another gunfight.
Not able to hit shots.
Yeah, Bandit comes to clean him up.
Oh, Bandit easily gets dispatched of a
raid after
rod.
Raid. This will be around a trade. It's down to a 2v2. Looks like shots are going off. Jaden coming in, lurking like Jaden does. So far, I figured that out. Jaden is probably the most hardcore lurker I've ever seen in this game.
Yeah, he's definitely, that's his role. That's what he's supposed to do. And he's just going to lurk around. So we will be down to a 2v2 with a minute left. So lots of time on the clock. We will see the Thermite just quickly take out those bandit charges. They will be approaching from the kitchen side. But that's right behind him, as it should be. You definitely want your Ash right behind you when you approach this kind of area, just because she can kind of dispatch of any defenders who might be kind of just chilling around there, just because she can rush in on them. But we will see the Kai try and take a few pot shots. Does seem like they're going to go for a little bit of a rotate, though. They do want to try and catch these defenders off guard, but I think they're ready for it, just because they didn't see a main push coming from the breach hole from before. So
they didn't know they're there. They know they're there. Now, apparently not. The Cade was caught off guard. Gets taken down. Now it's down to a 1v2 castle versus a Thermite and an Ash.
This is 20 seconds left. They have to move, and we will see the... Oh, we do see the castle does quickly take him out, and he's going to run away with 14 seconds left. The castle, or the fat Thermite, is on the other side now, and he does have to try and find him with only 7 seconds left, and the lead takes care of him. What a nice clutch from lead. At UMP 45,
that was a win that he definitely shouldn't have taken there. But I think they just, again, small mistakes. They didn't push together. The Ash went in a little bit early, or she was like 2 out in the open, and she got punished for it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could say it's an eye for an eye, because it just so happened that Jaden was Ash.
Yeah, well, now we know he's an Ash Jaeger main. That makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Last round, or in the beginning, we saw Jaden just toying with the other team, taking down 2 ops early on every round, and now it looks like Jaden's kind of getting with you, not fully though.
Yeah, it does seem like I don't think ORACA's comfortable attacking on this map. I think it's just, again, it is a more defender-sided map. But I was not expecting ORACA to be this out of their element, especially with how dominant they were nearing the ending of the defensive round. So Now we're tied up at a 4-4. You might be right. We might just we might see either a tie game or just a quick overtime game. I'm not too sure, but we will see a Buck finally make his appearance, though. Bring those frag grenades and also bringing the skeleton key with the C8. So especially where they're at now, that's a big player to have on the board, especially because now you can open up the floor, you get a little bit more angles, and with those frag grenades going to be dropping on you, it's just going to be something that the defensive team has to keep an eye on for sure.
I think a lot of teams have started realizing that they can only have so much utility on one side. And I think they're finally realizing that they can't all be utility. Otherwise, they're going to get taken down by operators like that Jaeger, the Bandit, the Maestro. Can only challenge those with various operators. And I think that Buck will come in handy, especially against the Maestro.
Yeah, 100%. Maestro is going to be really on his toes now, just because now that the Buck can get him out of place. So we will see how this goes. But we will see the Mute putting his jammers down. Deadly Peach is just trying to dance around him, see what she can do. She's just going to hold over here in the reading room. That's a smart place for her to be, and all her utility is out. So right now, she's just going to be on flank watch. So let's see how this one goes. So we will see Dishermo over here. He's going to watch the drop down. Pretty common spot, but there is another drop down. Remember that. And he will get... Oh, he gets peeked. He gets too caught up trying to shoot that drone. The Buck does take him out with a C8. What? Oh, Bandit. With a quick refrag on the flank there. It takes out the...
He gets one. Can he get the third, though? It looks like he's about to get... He's getting pinched really quick here. He's about to get taken down as expected. Jaden does his job. Looks down. Looks like that Valkyrie is going to retreat, realizing that she's not going to win that fight against Nash.
No. That she won't. And right now it is down to a 3v3 though. With a minute left, and the attackers do have a little bit more health on their side. So right now they're just going to play it safe. They're going to drone out, see if they can get any more intel on where these guys are. And from there, they're going to try and figure out where they're going to be pushing from. We do know though that they still have, because Jaden is still on the board. That is definitely their more powerful person. As I said that though, Deadly Peach does dispatch of Chase Rob quite quickly. So that is now down to a 2v3. Just down to the Ash Thermite. Still very winnable at this point, but the Valkyrie is making it very difficult for them to push into this 90 hallway.
I think if they figure out that the Valkyrie has little to no health taken down, just say that making this a 2v2 looks like he's just going to be able to get that Thermite. I think they might have a mute on it, though.
He does have a mute on it.
30 seconds left on the clock. They're only going to be able to do so much with that mute there. They can't, just as I say that, they get rid of the mute.
Oh, mute does get kegged up pretty quickly, though, or pretty badly, though. He's literally on probably about 3 HP. But the Alda quickly takes care of the Thermite. So right now, the Ash does take care of that. And quick, oh, Jaden with the nice little clutch at the end, 2-piece, takes care of the Maestro. And what a shot by him. Nice job, Jaden. But, yeah, you can't really beat Nash's R4C, no matter if she has an ACOG or not, so. Nice little clutch. Last second, though. That was pretty damn close.
You can only nerf the R4C so much. And speaking of that, ever since they took off the ACOG off the R4C, I'm pretty sure it allowed people to be dumber. Just as we saw with Jaden, he was just able to kind of creep his way into sight, get those 2 easy kills. They weren't really paying attention. Didn't know where he was, and he was able to clean them up rather quickly.
It allows, without the ACOG, it allows the gun to become more versatile in a sense, oddly enough, just because I thought without the ACOG, it would just be one of those guns where people are like, well. It makes it so you do need a lot more skill to use it. It's one of those guns where it does have very fast recoil. It's very, very good. But at the same time, without that ACOG, you do need to have a lot of skill to wield it. It just allows for a more CQB style play, so you're a lot closer, easier flicks like that because you don't have to worry about taking into account any of the magnification. So yeah, it allows for a little bit more aggressive plays like what we just see Jaden do.
Yeah, and I think Jaden, he seems to be a very smart, aggressive player. Like, he'll push, but he won't push till like late in the round. and by then, usually, um, enough operators will be gone for him to just take control of site in a matter of seconds.
Mm-hmm. And again, he just seemed in his comfort zone, especially because we know now he's a Jaeger Ash main. So he just did what he's supposed to do. Again, that was his job. We do see these odd placements, though. They do know that they bring an IQ every time, and we do have Jaeger placing his ADSs on these soft walls. So it doesn't seem like he is doing it in the sense of like, you want to make sure that you don't get caught off guard with a random grenade or anything like that. But at the same time, I do feel it's like a little bit of poor placement on my part. Like I don't think I'd put them there. I think they can go in other places where they're probably a little bit more useful.
Yeah. And I don't think that IQ is no fool at all. She is checking everything she can when she can. She's just taking out all the utilities she can, and maybe that's why they're able to push in so fast. Because they take out all the utility near the start of the round if they can, and then by the time, as we saw with last round, by the time we get to like the last 40 seconds, there's no traps available. That Maestro was too occupied to get onto his trap.
No, it's it's definitely one of those things where like he was not able to do that. We do see up here though, most of the attack team or defensive side is pretty whittled away, and as we can see here, they are droning out the Jaeger. So now they know where he's at. He's going to kind of retreat back into the freezer here, and he can actually. Oh, he's lucky he got away with that. They are going to try and close the gap on him, but he does push him back down to site. So right now, smart move on the attacker side. They do take full control of top floor. As well as we will see here, Thatcher is just trying to hold these angles, make sure nobody's doing trying up here. We have IQ as well, trying to make sure that no other gadgets are going to be impeding the process here. They do drone out the Valkyrie, though, and as well as the castle. So again, they do have eyes on them and know where they're going to be at. So we do have Jaden over here. He's going to be blowing up the hatch to get down into laundry room. He's going to try and do a little bit of a flank on them, making their life a little bit more difficult.
Looks like that Thermite's going to be playing a little bit slower. So he's just been playing hatch the entire. I think he finally dropped though. He's just going to be able to grab the hatches if he. Actually, no, I don't think he can.
Oh.
He doesn't really have any time to grab those hatches. Looks like Deadly Peach gets cleans up Jaden earlier in the round than we thought. That's bad news for the attacking round for Orcas.
Yeah, and what a shot from Jaeger there, and nice double kill coming from last minute. Miller catches two defenders sleeping. He's going to go for the plant, but the Alda takes out Rexy quite quickly, and last minute Miller gets disposed of by the Jaeger. So almost a nice little clutch there, but as you see here, last minute Miller does do a little bit of a turnaround on him, catches him planting.
They do call him last minute Miller for a reason.
Yeah, they do. As well as I did notice there, again, it did seem like it was just one of those things where I think Orca was getting outplayed in that situation. I don't think they did too many things wrong. They had good roam clear. They took control of top floor. I think the only thing we can really knock them for is they were a little slow on the push. We had two operators watching hatches rather than trying to figure out how they're going to push. They were just watching angles on hatches, and as we kind of saw there, we saw Jaden just kind of sleeping on a hatch, and then that's kind of when everything kind of kicked off. This was after Jaden got disposed of, everybody realized, oh, no, we got to kick it into high gear, and from there, that's when we seen that, Orca almost took it back. It was one of those, I think if they, rather than waiting on the hatches, if they just pushed, or not watching hatches and just like droned out a little bit more, I think it would have been a completely different story.
Oh, definitely. And I don't want to sound too biased, but the second they took out Jaden there, Jaden wasn't able to get any frags. They didn't really have any other fragging ops. They had Thermite, but he can only do so much with that tank of a gun, and they just got cleaned up by ops like Maestro and Jaeger. We're still alive.
Yeah, and so we do see them. Well, they are going to kitchen again. They tried this last time. They did lose it, but they only lost it because I think because of the clutch skills of the castle. Who was it? It was Rexy. It was by Rexy, wasn't it?
It definitely was Rexy. I remember.
Yeah,
Rexy. We were talking about
his name, yeah. Led. Oh no, sorry, it was Led. Oh, there we go. So Led was on the castle last time. It's because everybody's kind of sticking to the same operator. So I know Led was on the castle before, but Chase Rob able to take out X Tokyo quite quickly. Catches the bandit off guard. That's going to actually be quite good because you can still bandit trick that wall. He gets caught off guard with a nice little push coming in from Chase Rob. So good on him, able to catch him up.
Positioning on that bandit's part. I don't think he was fully set up by the time the clock hit 0.
No, I think he was just he got caught in a little bit of rotation there. But we do see Led able to take out Chase Rob quite quickly with that UMP. He's very comfortable in that operator, knows how to play him quite well, and be as aggressive as he possibly can, but without being too aggressive. So we have Neo Tarek as well over here in the Bucks, just going to rotate down, trying to keep an angle on the bar here. And we do have Jaeger over here too, but we have Deadly Peach as well watching over him, making sure that there's a little bit of a flank watch there.
Yeah, and I think yet again they managed to take control of the bakery in rather quick succession. They get that wall open, and I think that's going to be a big problem for late round pushes or late round defense. And I think Neo knows where that Jaeger is. He's probably just going to wait here for that Jaeger to get a little bit aggressive, as a Jaeger would do.
Led is just taking people's heads off with this UMP. He's able to take. Just because of the slower RPM and the easy recoil, it's definitely a strong gun. It just doesn't have, because of the fast RPM, can also let it down in situations like this.
Pros don't fake. He's about to get that bomb down. As he does,
Oh, wow. Gets that bomb down. But as we say that, Jaden takes care of Tamaro. And right now it is down to a 2v2 with the AUG and the UMP going on the board. And he is going to go for the nade throw. Does take out Deadly Peach, but he goes for the defuse as well. Doesn't know the defuse is happening. He's gonna go and try and get him, take him down. Oh, and the attackers, Jaden, able to finally get her, trying to stop the plant just in time too. I think there was maybe another second left, and it would have got him. So good job on Jaden with the game sense to know that he was going for the defuse.
See, most people at this level, they have come to realize that the second they get on that bomb, plant or defuse, they're not going to get off. And I think that has become a major factor for high tier plays.
Yeah, you just don't. Like you said, pros don't fake. But it's one of those things where you can actually win a round. There was actually a lot of time where you could have faked there and still had enough time to defuse.
Yeah, definitely. And usually that does. Either way, it catches people off guard. Because if you stay on that bomb, they think that you're going to get off, and they think all they have to do is maybe make the running motion, and they'll get off. And sometimes that is true. But if a pro doesn't fake, as I said before, they'll get the bomb defused, and it'll be just a little bit too late.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things. It's a tough gamble sometimes. Sometimes you have to stick it. Sometimes you don't. And it's one of those. You just got to know how to read the situation. And it's one of those things where it was read correctly, but by the attacking team. So right now, Team Orca is one game away, or one round away, from winning the entire game, or we can have Team Sin tie it up, and we can definitely go into overtime at that point. But
I do sense a little bit of desperation here.
Because of
that Cav, yeah, it might be a desperation pick, but at the same time, Kavera does work. Doesn't matter what level of play she's on, she can get that down relatively quickly. Kind of helps that you have a 65 damage pistol, and probably the most insane shotgun in the game outside of Ella's.
Yeah, but we do know, though, that Team Orca does run together very, very well. So having somebody, because what Kavera achieves best is when somebody is kind of separated. So it's one of those things where she is super powerful, like you said, with that 65 damage gun, but because if teams roll together, if they're more stacked, if there's two of them and things like that, you definitely have to watch your back because you can definitely get baited out and make it so you leave yourself open to be taken out quite quickly. So it's a double-edged sword. 100% is double-edged sword. But knowing that she's on the board, these attackers are going to play much more cautiously and watch much more angles than they really need to.
Looks like it's going to be a little bit of a slower push here. Jaden, not realizing that Cav is mid for. Maybe he does. Gets that pick relatively easy, making it look amazing since day one. Jaden, another kill on the board. That Cav down is major big luck for Team ORACA.
Yeah, and that's just like I said, they knew she was off. Now that they know she's off the board, they're like, okay, the main roamer, the one thing that we have to watch out for is gone. So right now it's just take objective, get bomb down. And as we see here, Jaden with another one onto X Tokyo, and we do know that she has pinned somebody in the hallway, and he is going to be rotating down. He has no health. If you have a light breeze go on him, he's dead.
Yeah,
and as you can see here, Jade,
a bit of a problem.
yeah,
now
Jade
it's down to a bandit with 1 health, minute left. Twitch. Now looks like it's Neo taking him down, giving them a nice win. Really straightforward. Second they got that Cav down, they just needed to take full control, which they did, and everything fell into their favor.
Yeah, it was a good job by ORACA. Again, a little bit of a struggle. Team Sin did bring it back a little bit, but good job on them. They did close it out quite strong. It was a very convincing round. Like we said, they took out as soon as they took out that Caveira, they just boom. First, the next objective, take site, and that's what they did. They just kind of cleared house at that point. So good job on Team ORACA. We will be setting up for the game number 2 for tonight. So we're going to take a 5 or so minute break, get the other teams in here, and we'll be back with you in a short bit. So don't go too far. We're going to take a quick little break and be right back with you guys. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to game number 2. Right now, we got 2 smoking hot teams ready for you. We have HEARTBREAK Esports and Best Controllers. We are actually in the middle of the map ban phase right now. The first map that's been banned is Border. And actually, as I say that, the second map has been banned. We have Villa being banned out. The Villa, we got banned out just because of the size of it. A lot of very easily to roam on it. It's just, you want to kind of condense it down. Border, a little bit of a more traditional map, not too much new for as of strategy wise on it. And Consulate Cafe's gone as well now too. There's actually 2 very quick bans, so it's literally just down to Clubhouse, Coastline, and Bank.
I'm kind of hoping to see a Clubhouse here, to be honest.
I wouldn't mind seeing a Clubhouse. Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing a Coastline. But at the same time, Coastline, again, it's just one of those maps where it's pretty standard on how you attack and you hold things. It doesn't lend itself to creativity too much.
Well, it's not like
whereas Bank and Clubhouse kind of do.
Yeah, well, maps like Border, it's going down the Oregon route real quick, mainly because like people have fleshed out the map so long or so much over the past couple of years, and that tends to be what happens because you can only do so much in Oregon that they had to take that map out. And I think the next map would be Border, but it looks like Clubhouse will be the map that we will be seeing, as I called it. Ha.
Clubhouse is a very defensive sided map, especially after the changes. It was very welcome changes, is because again that map was almost impossible to defend, especially the top floor sites. Now they lend themselves a little bit more onto the defensive side. Overall, though, it is a very solid map for even for both sides. Really, you can attack, you can do any of that stuff, and it's usually pretty. Again, it's not quite standard. It allows itself to be developed a little bit, but at the same time, it's one of those things where the defensive side is always going to kind of have the upper hand.
Yeah, and due to like the recent, I guess not too recent map change, it allows people to be just a little bit more creative now. Even with like the small things that they introduce, it just allows people to just implement a few more things than they usually do.
Mm-hmm. And we're just waiting to get into the game now so we can get to the operator bans. One of the main things I will say though, the operator bans for this map should be pretty straightforward. Like we should see a Maestro ban, we should see an Echo ban. We could even see a Kaid ban, depending on who they banned on attacking first. We seen this last game where Kaid was banned, but Thatcher was banned too. So it was one of those things where you didn't technically need to ban him at that point. So it was one of those things where, depending on where they do. So we see a Maverick being pulled out first. He gets banned. Interesting pick. I would have picked a Habana more than I would have picked a Maverick.
Well, Maverick, when it comes to the upstairs hold, if they get rid of you got to think about it. If they get rid of the Thatcher, or if the Thatcher dies early on, the Maverick is probably the best case scenario, the only person that can open up that wall or get those bandits off relatively quickly.
Next, we'll see a Jackal. It just allows any roamers just to kind of breathe a little bit easier, let's say. He's been very dominantly banned lately, at least. We will see the Ella next. Ella being banned out, obviously, for her close quarters shotgun. It's a very powerful weapon, especially on PS4. It's a very dominant weapon on PS4.
Looks like they're not going to want to give the other team a small advantage, or either defensive team a small advantage with that shotgun. Because even in the worst player's hand, that Ella shotgun is dangerous.
Mm-hmm. And we will see an Echo make his way off the map too. So that's, again, nothing too uncommon. Echo being a very powerful operator.
Looks like these bands are more comfortable. Looks like we got that Chonka pick though by a Donkey. Probably gonna switch it off it.
I
but
can
if it
imagine
doesn't,
just off.
I can't see that happening too. A very smart use of the 6 pick. Allows him to pick pretty much anybody or take anybody into his hands.
Yeah, unless he doesn't switch off.
Wait a second. Are we actually going to see a Chonka pick?
Are we going to see a
Looks
Chonka
like we
pick?
are going to see that Chonka.
Wow, we see a Tachanko pick. That's a rare occurrence, and it's not even like I think he mean to do that.
I think he did.
That can't be.
If he didn't, he had 6 pick. Maybe someone else stole that 6 pick. I'm not 100% sure.
No, they didn't have any 6 pick on that side. There's got to be a reason. They're trying. They're trying something.
I mean, Chonka can be used. Like Chonka can't. Like he still has one of the best submachine guns in the game.
Yeah, but then at that point, you might as well just pick Capcan because of the versatility.
Yeah, but maybe they have a strat with the Chonka. I'm not sure.
Maybe they're gonna stick him. Maybe they might stick him in Garage. He's gonna hold Garage.
It looks like that appears to be the case. It's gonna be smart. They're gonna have to
which is not a bad idea. Like especially with how Garage has been laid out. It's one of those things where he does have pretty clear sight on most things, but at the same time, he is in a position where it's easier for them to get an angle. I think if he maneuvered himself a little bit more to the left, he would definitely have a good angle still, but he would not lend himself to being vulnerable for any quick peeks.
Well, if you notice there's still that weak wall on his side. I'm pretty sure that'll be a pretty strong counter.
Mm-hmm. And he does get on and off the turret quite quickly, so they do drone him out, so they know now there is a Tachanka in Garage. Nobody panic. But I think this actually could work if used properly, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll see how it plays out. We do have also Bandit over there, Bandit tricking. We're not too sure how that one's going just yet, but we do seem to be fixated on this Tachanka.
I could be wrong, but I think they already got one of the third. It looks like one gets cleaned off. Wait, that will be Gunny taking down early on in the round.
Mm-hmm. And they do finally open up that wall. So right now he does have 2 angles to watch. So this would be a good time for the Chonka to possibly even rotate, because right now they can definitely get him from 2 angles.
Nobody's going to be challenging that bottom garage yet. So I think he is pretty much safe in that situation. Also, they haven't opened up the door. So you only...
Oh, Tachanka kill coming out. We do have Gunzi really taking care of Heartbreak, and then Kumo is able to take out Yellow and followed up by Wide Gaming. Kumo's so right now it is down to a 2v3, and as we say that, Tachanka just quickly gets backed by Gunzi. A good idea in theory, but overall I think just Tachanka is not a strong enough operator to really be viable in that kind of situation.
Strong enough operator. You have to realize that we are about the mighty, the Lord, the King, Tachanka.
The most useless operator in the game.
You said it, not me.
I will 100% say it all day. I get it, he's a meme, but at the same time, it's about viability in this game. And it'd be nice to have him more viable. I think there's ways to improve him, keeping the same kind of idea of what they wanted to do before, but you can't stay still in this game. It's one of those things where you can hold angles, but he doesn't hold angles. He just sits very lazily.
I think if I heard right, they are hinting at at next season to have a new Tachanka, a reworked Tachanka.
Yeah, that would be really nice. Like, I think, honestly, my take is what they should do is treat him like a Maestro, but then he can plant his weapon in such a way where like the bottom can be covered to a certain point and the top's covered. So make it so when he has his turret out, it's a bit more covered, it's a bit more mobile.
Yeah.
Like, he can do 100 or the 360 degrees, but make it so his primary weapon is then that LMG. So when he picks it up, the shield and stuff gets taken off, and then he can walk around with an LMG similar to Maestro.
Actually, something I was thinking, no pun intended, maybe making it into a sentry gun. Maybe that'd be
I think they would have to do it similar to a Maestro then as well. So make it so it is fully controlled by him. But make it
way
so
it's
that
not
the
too
recoil
overpowered.
is insane, or like it has like an overheat timer similar to it, so it can just shoot. It doesn't ADS; it just kind of shoots down hallway, but he has to control it that way. So that'd be kind of interesting. I am very excited to see what they do with him next. We will see though a Legion come onto the board. I'm not too surprised here. He's very dominant in the basement church area. It's just because he can lock down hallways, and it gives the defensive side a lot of intel of where these attackers are going to be coming from, as long as he stays alive throughout the course of the round.
And on top of that, they have no IQ, so they're not going to be able to take out those legions early on.
No, they basically he can go unpunished. Maybe the Twitch drone might be able to take up 1 or 2 out, stumbling upon them, but I think at this point he is going to be a little bit of a nuisance, as he should.
And as you can see, he is playing relatively safe, so I'm pretty sure he's aiming to be one of the people alive.
Yeah, he does get moved out of the storage room with the Habana charges going off on the hatch. We do see them get opened up quite quickly, but we do have... Oh, we are going to maybe see a impact trick. He's on the wrong side, though. You definitely want to try and go the other side, but they are watching that hole like a hawk.
They are. I think he's going to be ready for it, and
Yeah,
he is.
Gets it. Good job on him. That's a very smart play on his part. So that is 1 thermite down. So he just has to play it safe now. The Twitch does take out the dock, though, from the angle that it has been opened up by the impact hole. So we will...
He still has 1 more impact, but he can't get taken out.
But he does get the Kaid charge on there. Good on him. Does take out the... Takes out the Habana charges. So that is a Habana charge and... Oh, is he going to do it? Oh, he only takes out 1. And he is getting lit up. Not able to get through.
That's going to be some wasted utility there.
Yeah, well, he did waste a lot of time and a lot of utility on the other part. So good on him. But now he's kind of pinned and trapped in a section of the map that you kind of don't want to be on.
It's a risky predicament he is in. It's a 4v5, 30 seconds left on the clock.
Lots of time wasted, though. Good job on the defense side.
I think the defense is pretty lucky here. Usually that hatch will be opened early on. Looks like he gets taken down by the Cade, and Speedy taken down by the Maestro. It's going to be a 4v3. 13 seconds left on the clock. One gets taken down, another one gets back up. Looks like a Suto takes down another defense.
Oh, nice hold. Cool. Nice basement hold. A very smart plays coming from the Kaid, and fantastic time management as from their defensive side as well. Wasting a lot of time and a lot of utility, and going quite unpunished. The Sledge kind of caught sleeping. He could have opened a lot of that floor up before they started really going at it, and then kind of moved him around with some of those frag grenades. But he just kind of waited to the end, and then the 1 hole he did open worked very heavily against them because the Habana immediately got taken out just because the hole didn't get fully opened up, but on the bottom side the debris fell through, so he just kind of knew where to shoot.
In that situation, they wanted that hatch open. They didn't want any other hatch. I don't think they if they did, it went unnoticed and it went unused. They wanted that hatch open, and they wanted that hatch open soon. Sadly, that was not the case, leading in the victory for HEARTBREAK.
Yeah, so we will see how they approach this next one on them. We do have a mirror making her appearance, which is good. Especially on this particular site, she is especially strong. She can hold red hallway into cache, leaving a lot of room open to fire into that doorway that we just seen Jaeger come out of, and just holds a lot of area. So it is nice to see her come out, and again we see Legion making his appearance again. So last time we saw this, though, the attackers did very handily take it, but now that they are kind of adjusting to it, we'll just have to see how this part goes, because they have a lot more visibility and a lot more coverage of the site.
When it comes to dynamic duos, a lot of people think about Jaeger and Bandit, or Vigil and Caveira, but no one ever really mentioned Mira and Legion. I think they are the ultimate dynamic duo. and very dangerous when it comes to any setup, whether it's on coastline, clubhouse, upstairs, downstairs.
Yeah, I think Mira can be paired up with a lot of operators and become a very big threat. Another very big example is Maestro. Maestro on a Mira window can be absolutely deadly because you're just allowing so much firepower to be just go uninterrupted, and how much intel he can gather just from that, it's incredible. So we do see a very good bandit trick coming here from Kumio. He's doing a fantastic job of wasting as much utility, but I don't think he's able to.
He gets it.
Did he get it? Very nice.
Last second got it. I don't even think he got it. That was, or he did.
He did get it. Now they drone him out. So right now we have the attack has to completely figure out how, redo how they're going to be approaching this. So they are going to try to approach it from the bedroom side now, just because now there's no way in, and they do get taken out quick. Oh, the Twitch takes a few gunshots, not able to hit her shots, gets pinched quite quickly, and we will see the Hibana of Xziva take her out too. So
I think it's Xava, just because of that double A right there.
I think maybe it would have Ziva, because like X can make that Z sound.
Well, I think the Xziva would be an XE over XE.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say Ziva, just
but
Ziva.
With this talk going on, looks like Speedy manages to that Legion. Legion's very annoying late round, but I think Legion managed to do all the damage he needed to do.
Oh no!
Misplay at C4 looks like it's not going to do much, but they now know he's there. They move back just in time, and Jaeger coming in for the flank. But he gets a clean up himself. Same with the Mira coming down to a 2v2. Looks like she has a Legion trap. It's down to her. Manages to clean up both of them with the SMG. With a nice 2v2.
Very 9 for the win. Very difficult gun to have. Like that recoil control is actually quite impressive, especially on console, just because of how much they have adjusted it. So nice clutch on their part. That was a fantastic little play. Nice little flight coming around from the Hibana. That brings best controller up to 2-1, and it does look like they had a very good. They showed very good adaptation there, especially after they lost all that utility on the CCTV wall. They rotated. They had they knew their roles. Once one thing wasn't working, okay, here's what you do: you flank, you go here, we push in this way, and it just worked out in their favor at the end. So we will see. We will see an IQ being switched over to a Ying, which is a nice little pick. I don't see too much Ying play, which is unfortunate because I actually really like Ying as an operator.
She is a very underrated op, especially on map order or maps where there's a lot of windows that you place them on. Get rid of those Jaegers real quick.
Yeah, and as well too as she's very, very good. Like she's very versatile in either a slow, methodical push or she's super versatile in a rush push. She's like a very multi-dimensional operator. That's why she's very difficult to get a grasp on. I feel her weapon set isn't very desirable. She's a very slow RPM LMG, and she has probably she has a very good shotgun, but the range on it isn't fantastic. So,
well, like a wise man once said, when it comes to LMGs, you don't got to be accurate if you got more bullets. And I think that's usually what the case is with operators like Yin, mainly because, I mean, you can only shoot what you see, in most cases anyways.
Yeah, with the minimum, or with the certain mag capacity of some of these weapons, having the LMG can definitely have the advantage of a massive pre-fire. And it also gives you the benefit of not reloading as much, obviously. So it's just a nice little pitfall. So they are going to go for the same kind of tactics as they did last time. They're going to try and go for the double, kind of the double stack here. Hibana on one side, Thermite on the other. It does finally work. Good on them, and we will see White Gaming take out Kumo very quickly. So good on them, able to take out, and they took out the Bandit too. So again, a little bit of revenge on that side.
I think Sentry is in a peculiar situation. It looks like she placed herself right in front of that window. Usually a dangerous mistake for most people, but it's going to work out as her team pushes in relatively quickly, taking control of site. Looks like there's only one person that has the chance to stop him, and he's on the other side of the map.
Yeah, and as we can see here, the plant does almost go down. C4 takes care of it quite quickly, and we're just down to a 4v1 with Jaeger on the board. Jaeger just takes out Speedy, but then Sentries is able to finally take out Rage. So, again, very dominant round coming from HEARTBREAK there.
Only so much can do there, and I think they're in a must-win situation at the moment, or they were in a must-win situation, and they kind of lost it. Now it's that 3-1 advantage in favor.
Yeah, it's definitely looking a little bit more lopsided this game. We will see a Montaigne come out, so it does look like they're going to go for the more heavy push, especially with the Montaigne on the board. He's most likely going to be pushing it with the Habana. It just makes more sense to do that, or even with the Thermite. And he's definitely going to stay around his hard breachers just to be that extra support.
That Montaigne getting switched off for the Ash. Looks like they're going for a more frag route rather than playing for that time.
Mm-hmm. So that will be nice, though, because now the defensive side is going to be very cautious because they're going to think that there is a Monty on the board, but in reality it's just an Ash. So, and that's actually going to be quite a little bit of a more of a mind game because you're going to be expecting the slow clunk of a Monty, not the speedy, with the speed of an Ash, which can be 100% the speedy speed of an Ash. Yeah, you're not going to be expecting that now, so it's going to be one of those things where you can't actually catch these guys off guard.
Even though it's not the end of everything, looks like HEARTBREAK will be in a must-win situation at the moment. They can't let themselves fall too far behind. If they do, they're not gonna be able to come back, especially against a team like Best Guns NA. They're just too strong.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you gotta kind of pick your fights. Right now, though, we will have probably the Maestro just chilling in church, most likely, unless he is going to be going for... No, I don't think he would be going for any of the hatch denial, but yeah, he's going to stick over here in church, which is a smart move on his part.
It is, and looks like he has his own style denial for the hatch. Might get taken off earlier on, especially with that Thatcher and or Ash. Can even be taken out by the Twitch now, which is an excellent development for someone like Maestro.
Yeah, so he will have the Jaeger over here in Blue Hall as well, which is a smart place for him. Having that R4C, especially in the close range, close quarters there, is just a very smart move. We will see them open up Tunnel as well. It's a very rare play to push through Tunnel. Usually you'd push through there if you have a Monty, so I think they're just trying to keep that idea going that they have a Montaigne. But as you can see here, Habana is getting lit up quite quickly. And now she's going to be on the hunt for that Jaeger, but she doesn't have much health, so she has to hit her shots. But Rage is able to finally finish her off. Sentry is not able to kind of take away any of the roamers, and Rage still has control of this Blue Hall over here.
And that will be a deadly first pick. That Habana could have done so much there, taking out the wall, but looks like she is in her early grave. In fact, you're going to try to move slowly up. I'm not sure if they know the Jaeger's still there. If they don't, that's going to be a mistake. Like I called it. Why
they do. They know now.
That they do. And Yellow slowly pushing in, making his move. Not sure if he knows what his battles are. And no, he does get taken down by Donkey, looking like an ass. What a character.
And we have two over here as well, taking out Speedy. So right there, we do have a very dominant win from HEARTBREAK on the basement hold. So good on them. They actually, kind of seemed good to bring that morale back. When you're three down, it is one of those things where it can be a little bit more frustrating, but they kept it together, especially on the basement hold. It is one of those ones that can slip away from you quite quickly, so good on them for keeping composure and able to finish out the round quite strong.
Being in a 2-3 situation, it's still clutchable. It's still playable. But the second they get into that 3-round lead, it almost happened this round, but it didn't. And lucky for them, because once you get to that 4-1, it's over. Especially with teams like Top Gun. All of them have been around for quite a while. I'm pretty sure that the Top Diamonds, they've known about the scene. They know how to play this scene. They know how to play out these maps, and they'll use that to their advantage, especially against teams like HEARTBREAK.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's one of those things where these two teams, it could be evenly matched. Well, this next round will kind of be the deciding factor of how the next ones are going to go, because being up before 2, it isn't impossible to come back, but it is one of those things where, you know, it's like, oh man, we've only won 1 or 2 in 6 games. It's a little bit demotivating in certain times, so it will be very interesting to see how they handle it if they don't eke out the win here. So
yeah, we are going to see some Valkyrie doing her
this is a
Valkyrie
dangerous
things.
one. Will she get caught? Oh no, she actually made it. Holy mackerel. I was close. I was a clincher.
I think there was about maybe a few seconds off. If she was outside for like at least an extra second, she would have got taken down. At least damaged by those people following up on her run out.
And as we can see here, they will be approaching as they have been before. Probably going to go for roughly the same kind of strategy where they're going to have the Habana on one side, they're going to have the Thermite on the other, but they do have a gridlock, which is nice. So once they do take control of that particular site, they can use the gridlock to kind of watch any of the flanks. They didn't seem to have any issues with them last time, but it's just that added security that they're going to have. So they do know that the Bandit is tricking on both walls right now. Oh, they blow up the floor. I'm trying to get him out of here, so the frag grenades will be coming out. And we will have Gunzi finally taking out Donkey. So, nice early frag. So that is a Kaid off the board, but we will have the... We will have the...
First
Bandit
down.
Yeah, their first thermite's gone. Bandit does take it away quite quickly. Doesn't seem like they have the same kind of coordination as they did the last round. They seem to be struggling just a little bit on this. So they will be going for a little bit of a rotate, trying to get find a different way to approach this site.
Well, I think that Sledge doing what he was doing, nading under, a bit more of a detriment. As you can see, their health taken down to nearly half for the gridlock and the Sledge.
I feel like a Buck would have been a better choice at this point. You know, you have a little bit more control. You still have a weapon at that point. You're not relying on timing a frag grenade. In my opinion, it's just I feel like that was maybe a mispick. If that was your strategy, I don't see why you would need a Sledge, rather than like a Buck or anything like that. Or even a Zafia. Zafia could work just as well. Zafia can impact nade underneath where those frag or where those bandit charges are and just easily dispatch them. But so we do see here we have sentries taking out Valkyrie, so that is another one off the board. We will go for a Banshee, but I think... Oh, no, he gets it in time, but he gets disposed of by sentries again, so good on him. He does waste a lot of utility, but at the expense of his own life. But we have HEARTBREAK taking out... Oh, wow, Rage taking out 2 of them at that point, and then Ziva taking out Yellow again. I thought the attackers had that one, but it just seems like the defenders collapsed on them quite quickly. And,
I think it just came down to the amount of the utility wasted, even though most for example, the final seconds of that round, Bandit taking out the Thermite, it was a perfect opportunity for that Hibata to just rush in, grab that quick, easy kill. But again, it was quite a surprise when they managed to get the comeback and the Feds taking the round, making this a 3-3.
And now it's all tied up. It's one of those things where it's anybody's ball game at this point. We will see Blackbeard being 6-pick though, but to who? He gets 6-pick to a Capitao. And we will see Smoke making his appearance, but in the Smoke Elite skin, so can't say I'm too happy about seeing that.
Not gonna lie, I do kind of like the 9 to it.
I feel like they could have gone in a lot of directions with it, and I feel like they
could have, but like... It's like the IQ, you know, they have to include like a lot of historical stuff. Like a lot of people didn't really know that IQ, like that's, you know, your average German police force. outfit.
Yeah, that's actually the training garments that they use. But I think Smokes they could have, because if you look at all the other ones, there's a lot of World War like SAS has a lot of World War II themed ones and then all of a sudden Smokes in something like from like the early '90s, and it's just like it doesn't I don't know, it just doesn't sit well. I feel like
I think it was just a false expectation. Like for the rumor, ever since Elite Screen started taking place was a Plague Doctor. Everyone wanted to see a Plague Doctor.
I would have been down for a Plague Doctor.
But the thing is, we started getting those like small helmets you had to pay like maybe $5 for, in like Renown anyways, or not Renown, our 6 credits. Mm-hmm. And actually, maybe a quick pick early on in the round. Not sure if this gunny is gonna be able to take down that IQ. I'm gonna get droned out. Maybe a missed drone.
Oh yeah, that drone did not see him. He might take him out here. Depending on what that drone is doing. Oh, she does drone him out. And now he's on the move. So right now they could pinch him here, but it does look like IQ is the only one, so she's going to rotate away. She's going to try and pick a different battle for a different day. So she's going to try and rotate back over here to the main doorway. So it will cut off the Jaeger at this point. So it's actually quite a smart play because the Jaeger can only come in from 2 different ways.
Well, if Heartbreak takes control of the pool table, that's one door, and all she has to do is sit there. Doesn't have to go after him at all. She sits there, holds that angle, lets her teammates do whatever they need to do, and that's an easy pick for her late round.
Yeah, that's a very smart play on her, and now the Jaeger is completely cut off, and that's probably one of your main guns that you're going to need for that retake. Gone, but now she's getting a little impatient. She's going to try and cut him off here, and we will see now that they are going to collapse 3 deep onto the Jaeger. They're going to try and get in. The plant is going down. Very quick plant. What is going on here?
This is a dangerous maneuver that could...
Yeah, so right now there's only one person on, while the other 3 are trying to take out a Jaeger, whereas they could be back here. The Jaeger was completely cut off, but as you can see here, we do have the Thatcher does quickly dispatch of yellow, and as we can see here, Jaeger they have this angle. What is going on here? They do allow him to come in. The Bandit does take it out, and as well as the Doc is actually falling apart for the defense quite quickly. It's just down by Gunsy. The Jaeger is back on site, trying to shoot through the wall, not able to hit anybody. And right now he's just taking a few pot shots, and the Thatcher will probably clean him up quite quickly. He does make his way into the objective, still pre-firing like a champion, not able to hit his shots, takes a pistol out, not able to hit the shots, and the attackers win due to the diffuser finally going off. Nice hold by them, but again, that was a very, very quick take. It totally threw us off. The defensive side just let them take Arsenal room.
I actually thought that was punishment. I thought that was a misplay on the attacking side.
Yeah, same as
only 2. It was like a 2v4. It was a 2v3, and then they quickly started getting picked off, and that was a major problem, especially letting a Thatcher frag out like that against someone like a Maestro. He could have made a more
bigger
safe
impact
play there.
Yeah,
I guess.
But like you said, like it was a 2v3. And then Thermite immediately got taken out. So then it was a 3v1. And Thatcher, literally just standing in the same spot, took out 2 of them. And then by the time that he took out 2 of them, everybody else came downstairs, got into their positions. And at that point, it was just too late. Because as anybody who pushed or advanced onto the site, which is being taken out from the angles that the other attackers had. So, like, I think it was just, it was 100% a misplay, but it did not seem like it was one of the attackers' favor. So actually, good job. Coming from best controllers on that one.
Usually when it comes into situations like that, I usually call out small mistakes. But really right there was a lot of big mistakes being done on the attacking side. But for matters, because like that Jaeger, they let him run past. They let him get back into sight. They let him come home. And they just weren't able to take advantage of all those mistakes on the defensive side.
Mm-hmm. And the defensive side, the defensive side's mistakes were much greater than the attacking side's. Like you said, they did let the Jaeger back in, but at that point it was a 3v1 or a 3v1. So they were just playing the clock at that point, which is smart. They weren't getting too aggressive. They were just waiting for the defensive side to kind of push into them. But yeah, I think they could have had a little bit more control to have the Jaeger not push in. But again, still seemed pretty definitive at that point of that was the strategy and it worked quite well. So back over here to CCTV, we will have the
wrong. This looks like it's about to be a reverse sweep in favor of Heartbreak. They were down 3-1 or 3-0. And they managed to make quite the astonishing comeback, especially against a big team like Best Controller. And Yellow just avoiding that nade.
But how did he see that grenade? That grenade through the back wall. Okay. So now that the CCTV wall can be opened, see, smart play coming from the Buck. But as we say that, though, Sentries does take out the Thatcher. But in turn, they take out the Legion. So that Legion off the board will be actually very, very vital for the attackers. And as we say that, Rage just take out Sentries. So it is down now to a 4v3.
This is looking to be a very dangerous situation for defense. But as I say that, take out Rage, making this 3-3. Not late round. They still got quite a bit of time. Looks like they might be playing to get that.
Diffuser is going
full
down.
Control the site. And Yellow is going to have to move in. He goes in unannounced and pays for it.
Yeah, we do have Gunzy over here doing a little bit of run out, takes out the Buck that is watching that angle, but at that point the diffuser is already down. So now we have Y Gaming stuck here in the garage, and we will have the Jaeger rotating around. And at this point, the Valkyrie will give her position away, trying to get that a little bit of peek hole when she gets dispatched quite quickly. So it's just down to Gunzy and the R4C. That diffuser is being watched like a hawk, though, so he has to land his shot, almost takes it off, but Ziva able to finally take up Gunzy. So that was a very decisive round again coming from Heartbreak.
In that situation, Gunny needed a Hail Mary. If he got that twitch, there was always that big chance that he could have swung off that momentum and taken down that Thermite too. But that was that's praying for a little too much there.
Yeah, it was. He almost had it. Almost got the head. I think if he got the twitch there, but again with the prone twitch, the hitbox is very difficult to hit. So he did his best with what he had. So right now we are up 5-3. It does look like Heartbreak is starting to run away with it, but again, can easily come back from this. Best Controllers just kind of has to play. They are currently playing Heartbreak's game. They just got to kind of turn the tables, make Heartbreak play their game a little bit. But it does seem like right now we are in Heartbreak's court right now.
I think Best Controller just got a little bit too comfortable. They kind of took everything for granted. They didn't really care about it. It was really costing them game after or round after round. Now they got to do just what Heartbreak did. They got to slow down. They got to keep calm, cool, collected, and I think that's usually all they need to do. They just got to take it round by round. If they do so, they have a very big chance of coming back just as Heartbreak did.
Yeah, so they do have that, but their holds don't seem to be as concise as Heartbreak's was. Heartbreak's holds on these particular sites were actually very, very solid, and they seem to have a lot of, there's people on top of people, so there was definitely someone there to get to refrag, whereas now it's just like people, they're a little bit more spread out. I think they're a little bit more spread out than they should be. So as we've seen there, the Jaeger got kind of caught up again. He had to rotate back in. And
speaking of frags, looks like Thatcher was taken off the board by Sentries early on. That's fast, especially for someone that's bandit tricking like Bandit, or for someone that's bandit tricking. And it's going to be a very hard push, very slow push for the attacking side if they want to get this round. Because they're not going to be able to get any wall open. They don't have any other thing except for the Twitch, but most people nowadays, they can handle Twitch relatively easy.
Mm-hmm. And now the Buck has to rethink of how he's going to try and push this bandit trick, or if they're going to push him at all, and they just might push through the other direction, trying to take bedrooms. So it does seem like they are going to rotate around, and it is going to be everybody's going to be reconvening elsewhere. We do have the doc stuck here in garage. He is going to make sure that I'm going to watch this door quite well as we do have the Jaeger just by his side, making sure just in case he gets refrag. But we do have sentries with another one onto Rage, and as we said, we have to make that they have to start playing their game. That's exactly what they're doing. Just down to a Buck Twitch and a Thermite at this point.
I'm sorry, my stream just lagged behind a little bit.
Yeah, like mine did as well, but Yellow able to get a nice little double kill there. Is going to finally pick up Gunzy, and right now it is just down to the Buck, which he can clutch it out, but he has to make sure he hits his shots. That C8 can get away from you sometimes. And it does seem like the defensive side has taken a bit of damage, so it's not out of the realm of possibility for him to take this. But he's going to go for the pre-fire. He's just waiting for these runouts to start happening. One does happen, not able to hit his shots. Y Gaming does take care of Donkey quite quickly, in a very decisive way, coming from best controllers. It does seem like they kind of bring it back at this point.
Usually a 1v5 in this situation can usually play someone, except the second he shot, he gave away his position, and it was over on the spot. Because it just allowed everyone else to set up, making for a pinch run out. They didn't have any claymores, and it kind of screwed them all, over late round, and they were unable to do anything. But it looks like Best Controllers is taking our advice from the other world, and they're playing their game. They're playing as they should be, not playing too comfortable. They're taking things seriously, and they just won around because of it.
And that aggressiveness did pay off. So let's see if it pays off again, or if Heartbreak is going to kind of try and read that now and make that something that they work into their strategy. Right now, though, we will be going down back to the basement. We will see an IQ on the board as well on the defensive side, though. We do see a Pulse coming out. Pulse can be super critical, especially in Arsenal room. Over by the far side of kitchen, he can actually give you as much information as you'll possibly need here, and kind of go unpunished for doing so. I know lots of times where I have pushed into kitchen trying to open up the floor, and there's a Pulse just kind of watching you, and he can easily C4 you with a nice little pre-placed C4 up there.
It does seem like most times Valkyrie cams like these usually go unnoticed, and they're usually unfindable, but because they got that IQ, it's going to come in really handy. It's going to probably help against that Pulse, as well as any weirdly placed bandits. And I'm not sure if you noticed where those Valkyrie cams went up, but they're kind of like in the ceiling.
Yeah, they're in the boards.
And those are hard cams to spot, especially if you're worried about getting C4 early in the game.
Yep, exactly. But we will see Speedy here trying to take some pot shots at the Buck outside, but he's not able to hit a shot. So does rotate out. Probably going to give up that area quite quickly. Just doesn't want to lose his life just yet. Just want to kind of slow them down a little bit at this point. He will get droned out, though. I think they saw him.
I don't think they did. I think the Twitch, they might have seen his shoulder or his gun, but I think they misdroned him. And if they did, that's going to cost the attacking side pretty. That's going to cost Heartbreak pretty hefty if they move in too quickly.
Yeah. So as we do see here, Rage Heartbreak is going to be holding this angle. They are going to try and open the floor. He does almost die from the C4, but good on him. He does stay alive, and the hatch does open. So right now, that is a lot of control for the attackers on this side. And right now, he might even get reset. He might do a little bit of reset. He might not. At this point right now, they're just going to drone themselves in. They're going to make sure that everything's clear. They do drone out the Valkyrie here. She's going to push back over to the more Arsenal side rather than the storage side. And from here, though, the minute left, the attackers have yet to take anybody out. But They do have a bit of time, but they do got to start getting a move on. And as I say that, though, Yellow does take out Rage quite quickly. So Heartbreak kind of on the back foot now. They got to start pushing it a bit, and Speed is able to take out Kumo quite quickly. And right now we might see Bandit going up for a little bit of a sneaky take. And as I say that, though, Ziva gets a nice little double kill, evens up the board quite quickly. But with 30 seconds left, she's got to start moving. They does get a little bit aggressive. The pulse does get taken out quite quickly by Ziva, and it's down to a 2v3. But as I say, that Ziva does get taken out by sentries by the Valkyrie in long range, snake shot by Hera, so it is down to the 2v2. Thatcher, though, on almost 1 health, so he's got to really kind of pick his shots here. Buck's going to push in through tunnels. With 14 seconds left, though, he does get Goo Mine, and he's going to take the Skeleton Key just for that close quarter shot. He's going to take out, downs the Legion, takes him out. He's got 4 seconds left, and he is not able to take out Sentries. Sentries with a nice little double clutch there. That was a close one.
You had that 1v1, but looks like Sentry just had enough time to turn around, get those shots off on the head, and there was a quick cleanup kill. Managed to swipe him, making it look easy since day one. That is Sentries, ladies and gentlemen.
That ties up the game. 5-5. It's actually a very close game. It did seem like Heartbreak was starting to walk away from it, but again, best controller does tighten up their game just a little bit, and is able to do that.
Looks like we're seeing a bit more anxious plays from both managing to just tighten up on their strats, I guess. Maybe tighten up on their plays.
They seem to be learning from it just a little bit. So that's always a good thing to see when a team can be like, okay, we're down this. This is what our problem is. Let's figure out a way to adapt to it. They seem to have done it. They seem to be able to neutralize the aggression. Even when they lose a certain area, they do seem to kind of come back to it and are able to take control of it quite quickly. So we will see them go upstairs into master bedroom and weight room. So this is actually going to be probably the more interesting bomb site out of the ones we've watched. This is going to be a very tricky bomb site to take a hold of because of how open it is and how small and condensed it is. There's only 2 doorways, or technically 3 if you're counting the doorway into the weight room. So it's a very hard room to take or retake once you lose control of it.
And they got all the ops they need to. They got that castle. Very annoying to get rid of, especially if you got someone playing in the other sites. You got the Jaeger, helps the castle out, makes it even more annoying. That's a waste of utility on the other side. And you got the Legion, slowing them down to the max.
So we will have the Bandit here. He is going to be followed up by the Legion here. They're probably going to hold 90 quite easily, because the Legion can make an absolute mess of that 90 hallway. But it doesn't seem like we have too many. Who is in connectors? Is anybody in connector there? I don't know.
I think Jaeger might have been playing in there. I could be wrong though. He might be playing on the other side.
Oh, they took control of 90. It's not a bandit trick.
You see, and early on in the round, we usually see the bandit playing the wall hard, but as you could see, he was in the other bomb site, not paying attention to the wall, and they took it relatively quickly. But it might be in favor of best guns. As you can see, that mirror, I think I heard it just get taken down. That's a little deadly. He manages to mess up that C4, getting no damage onto the other side. Minute 45 seconds left on the clock. 5-5. Everyone's still alive.
It is one of those. Right now, Yellow is kind of stuck. They can easily pinch him out. I do hear a little bit of commotion going on, but it could be just downstairs. So as we say that, though, Speedy does take out Kumo with the Vector. Nice shot on him. That Vector can be unwieldy in some conditions. And as we do see here, Yellow just misses the head of the Buck and gets his head taken clean off. But as we say that, Gunsy does take out the IQ as well. So right now, we do have the Bandit as well, trying to take control back of the 90 hallway. He does take out Donkey, though. White gave nice shots on that.
Leaving Exalva in a 1 versus.
It's going to be a tough one.
She's going to have to pray to the gods above if she wants to get this win. Looks like the gods have answered her prayer. Taking down Speedy early on, making it a 1v3, 45 seconds left on the clock. You got the Jaeger up. Jaeger and Bandit are probably going to be the most influential members of this clutch situation here. Someone moving up. Looks like he's ready for it. And he manages to clean up his health, taking it down to about a 20. Peek at it yet again. He gets taken down, but cleaned up by sentries. They just took round 11.
They did. And again, it almost turned around, but as you can see here, nice refrag. They kind of had that pinch going. They knew as soon as one went down, the other she was going to try and rotate in. Got a caught guard from that from the castle there. So it does bring to a 6-5 for best controller. So they're one away from winning this, but it has been back and forth. So it's a tough one to call at this point.
As we saw, the prayers of the god have been answered, but Sentries was just like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to jump out. I'm going to grab this kill. And he did so.
And he got it quite convincingly. So, as we see here, though, Ziva at the top of the board for Heartbreak with 12 kills, but we have Sentries with 16 kills. Very convincing as well, putting in her work today. Definitely said that. See here, though, it is actually fairly consistent on best controller side. Like, yes, we do have Sentries with 16, with Gunzi with 11, but then it kind of staggers down, 6, 4, and 5. Whereas it's a little bit more staggered on Heartbreak side. So Heartbreak, we got 12, 5, 10, 4, and 7. So it's usually a team that has got a lot going on for them right now. It's generally the team where if you look at the numbers, everything's kind of consistent. Everything's kind of obviously you'll have a top fragger, second top fragger, or maybe a tie, but then everyone is not terribly far behind, right? So it's usually how you see it. And a team that struggles, you'll see there's a lot of 2 kills, 1 kill, 0 kill, and they'll have a guy who's top fragging because he's carrying that extra weight. That's usually how you can tell.
And as you can see, numbers don't lie. I don't like math. The 6-5, that is I'm pretty sure they need one more round to close this one out. And I think they Heartbreak, just because of how they've been playing, this is probably going to go into a double overtime. It
very well could. But they might be able to eke this one out. It did seem like they opened up a couple of hatches up top, and the Thatcher grenade does go out and takes out a few extra stuff. We will have that wall being opened up shortly. Bandit is not there to trick it, so they do get in control of CCTV room. And as I say that, though, does get taken out.
That is a very taking out Greg, taking out Speedy. See, the second you open up that wall, it just opens up so many possibilities for the attacking side. Now they have free reign of just about everything. Once they realize that nobody is in over there in garage. Kind of forgot what the color was. But once they figured out that no one was in garage, they're gonna realize soon enough that they can just push in and get that bomb down, take control, and take the round for their own. And Badger managed to sneak by, about to get that bomb down. Lisa's going to try to stop it, and to the best of her ability, and can't. Getting cleaned up by the attack.
We do have the Gunzi, the Jaeger, stuck in garage. The Fuser is not down, though, so they could actually win this one if they cut off the rotation, but as we see here, the IQ does pick it up and rotates back outside to bring it into safety, so if she gets picked off, at least the diffuser is not in the middle of the room. With 50 seconds left, though, the attackers could hold this out, but as I say that, Why Gaming does get picked off quite quickly. We will have the Jaeger downing 2 of them, so it is actually technically down to a 2v1. Very clutchable. As I say that, though,
make that a 1v1.
It's a 1v1.
And it's a Capital.
Versus Capital, yes. He does rotate out, though.
Still has a lot of utility. He can use that to his advantage. He knows where the Jaeger is. Maybe he has time to pick him up. I think he does. He's going to turn this into a quick 2v2 yet again. Maybe they're going to pick up that Twitch, and they are making it a 3v2, but they only have a certain amount of time left. Jaeger doing a hefty amount of damage. Season
Oh my god, what a clutch!
What a round by those two.
They just did just 2v4 the entire team. That was an amazing round. Jaeger stuck in garage with wide gaming out on the other side, going for a nice little rotate. Fantastic plays.
This game was kind of flipping all over the place.
It was pretty tied up to the end. Yeah, it was tied up to the end.
It just came down to those last two rounds. If HEARTBREAK managed to take another round, I'm not sure who would have won. But in the beginning, as you could see, Best Guns, they took the lead. HEARTBREAK, they said, no, you ain't. Come back here. And that's what happened. But then HEARTBREAK just couldn't, they just couldn't settle the score fast enough.
No, they didn't. They weren't able to bring it back. They had a very, very strong run at the end, though. But that's going to conclude our games for tonight, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. We've seen some fantastic games out there tonight. But until next time, I will see you next Wednesday. I've been Neely Bobber. This has been...
this is the King signing.
Yeah. So we'll catch you guys next time. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, as well as follow us on Twitter and also Instagram. You can follow us there too. So we'll catch you next time, guys. Have a good one.